everybody, and welcome to Punchlines. I'm Frank Nicotero, longtime comedian, lifelong sports fan, and today's show will cause more of a buzz than yesterday's tennis tournament at Indian Wells.
Yeah, loads of little bees.
They had to stop it because of a swarm of
circling ahead.
Play pause for a while. Please come in. Play cannot continue. Pause for a while here now.
Gee.
I knew it! The bees! They've been warning us for decades about the bees! The bees are out!
Bees! Save yourself!
I have to tell everyone the bees!
Oh, man. People are looking at him like he's absolutely insane.
I thought he was going for the Tommy boy. Save yourself!
I got Ryan and Denny here.
Denny, ever been stung by a bee?
Yes, I
No
have.
one's listening! No one listened! No one listened to me!
Tommy boy's back.
When we saw the clip of how they got rid of the bees. There's bees!
Gotta catch his breath.
Okay. Is there a clip?
You okay?
All right, okay. There he is. There's the hero.
No helmet, no.
Look at this guy,
no
Denny.
fear
Oh, my gosh.
at all. Just right in there. Look at him go.
It's not the most high-tech solution, but hopefully it'll get the job done.
Why do I feel that guy plays like in a metal tribute band on the weekends as Ozzy? It's a longer run than you think, isn't it?
You got to get some cardio in?
I got a little car. Well, that's it for the day, right?
Really yelling out there. Were you?
Little bit.
No, you weren't.
I was miming a little. I was yelling bees. I was saying bees.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. I was
Well,
like,
you can
There are a lot of
imagine how it would
people
be.
looking at him like it's crazy.
Did you see me on the camera?
What camera? Oh, shoot, I was supposed to take that camera shot, wasn't I?
She took the camera shot, right?
Yeah, she's messing with you. Yeah.
Take two. Here we go. Anyway, speaking of buzz, that is a segue. It looks like this is official for all my Steeler fans watching. Kenny Pickett has been traded to the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wow.
The hell? Sean, also a fellow Steeler fan. We're a little in shock. Hold on, let me hydrate, folks.
Sean's not happy.
I mean, I guess the damage was done. You've been in locker rooms where someone might get usurped as a starter and they want out. I mean, is that what you think happened here?
I mean, there's got to be something else going on because there's plenty. I play with plenty of guys that say, yeah, I want out. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean it happens like the next day or a couple days after that, you know? So I think there had to be something going on behind the scenes there. I don't know.
This is a shocker, man. This is really shocking. This wasn't fabricated by you guys to pull my leg. This is real.
It's real.
Ashton?
Hashtag Kutcher. It says Adam Schefter's reporting it, so we're a little in shock. Yep. Jeff Parles let us know, too. So Kenny Pickett is now an Eagle. I mean, so who's the Steelers? Who's our backup?
It is kind of interesting. Sean, I think Sean's right. Like he was saying earlier, too. Why wouldn't Kenny sit there and say, well, I mean, Russell Wilson's obviously a lot older than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
So you would think even if he's going to lose a starting job that maybe he could learn behind him.
Yoda me, man.
Exactly.
Take that. That's quarterback good.
Now, does that mean he thinks like Philly's a better situation for him overall?
You know what? He's born and raised in New Jersey. He grew up an Eagle fan.
Ah.
I wonder if that has something to do with it. Maybe he says, I want to go home. I mean, he played at Pitt, obviously, but he's just from Jersey.
Maybe he's a Bradley Cooper fan.
He could be. He wants to watch Silver Linings Play. He wants to live the movie. I don't know. That's a big shocker, though. So Kenny Pickett, bye-bye, Kenny, says Frank Murgy. Neagle, Nicotero, McCormick. Is this a law firm podcast? Yes. That does
like
sound
that.
like Neagle, Nicotero, McCormick. We get money for you. We're like the Ghostbusters. B-Man, not all heroes wear cape. Good point, Frank Murgy. Nicotero needs some cardio. Joey B, I'm acting like I'm out of breath. Not really out of breath.
He's such a good actor.
I'm such a method actor. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've already been talking. Ending his 4-day Vegas residency, which wasn't as long as Elton John's, but he ended it with just as much flair and different costume changes. Denny Neagle, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Day 4, last day. And well, we're going to get to our let's see here. By the way, unfortunately, John Smoltz. I actually talked to John Smoltz on the phone. I know you've talked to him. Kind of a big deal when you're like, you have like a Hall of Famer's phone number, which I'll put on the ticker. You can call John Smoltz anytime. Give him a call.
Give me your complaints.
He'll ask for tickets. He loves that. But anyway, he hurt his shoulder. He'd been there. He had to get treatment. He had to go today. He was as he was pulling out. He just landed in Atlanta. I don't know where he was coming from, but I heard him going through like getting his car and paying for parking. And he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but he's going to be on the show next week, and you're going to join us via video.
Yeah, because I'll have to give him crap because I'm sure he hurt his shoulder like brushing his teeth or something, or taking a shower.
Yeah, but he said he had to go get it looked at and some injections or whatever. I don't know what you do with a bad shoulder.
Yeah. He's probably getting PRP or cortisone
we were talking
injections.
about the platelet thing. Yeah. So anyway, I had pulled some stats. Would you like to hear your stats though? While we have you,
I would love to hear that.
All right. So according to StatHead.com, when you faced him as a pitcher, do you remember what your record might have been against John Smoltz?
I do know one thing's for sure because when I got traded from the Pirates to the Braves and had to switch locker rooms,
right.
I pitched against the Braves the night before and beat Smoltz in his Cy Young year when he won 24 games.
Yeah.
So he lost like 4 or 5 that year or
something?
something?
I think something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
24 and 5, I think.
And then so when I walked in the locker room, Terry Pendleton, the veteran guy for the Braves, he was in charge of the kangaroo court situation where we find each other for fun stuff.
Right.
So he's like, oh, God, let me get my list out. Here he comes. You struck me out twice last night. You got Smoltz's 4th loss of the season. And earlier that year, I had thrown a nasty change with David Justice, and he swung and missed so hard that he popped his shoulder out. Missed the rest of the year. He goes, that's a $1,000 fine right there. So I do know that I beat Smoltz that night. I'm going to say I was 2-1 against him.
I have 3-1. StatHead says 3-1. 3-1. And plate appearances. John Smoltz batting versus Denny Neagle.
I'm going to say he was 2 for 12 off me.
I have 8 plate appearances, 0 for 5.
All right.
With 3 punch-outs and 3 sacrifices.
Okay.
Probably laid a few bunts down, so he get a hit off
over.
you. Now, Denny hitting versus John Smoltz.
2 for 10.
1 for 7.
All right, hey, I got a knock. I got bragging rights.
You got 2. You only struck out twice.
Nice.
And your batting average of 143, yeah. Which 143 stands for?
Take that weak 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
Anyway, Smoltz we're going to reschedule him for next week, but don't worry. We have Ryan here. We have Denny here. Trey is back. Your son is here. And he's staying today because he got snowed in. He has to stay an extra day.
Bees! Oh, snow.
Bees are going to Colorado! No, there was how many inches of snow?
Like 30 something
inches, like 3 feet of snow.
I was telling you earlier, we had to postpone our game the other day because they were calling for like 18 inches, and me and my fellow coach were like, we're not going to get 18 inches.
Right.
Nope, we weren't. We were getting like 34.
Twice as much. That's how that works out. But in the studio, a very funny guy who I've never met, but he is from outside of P-Town, which I'm not allowed to say. John Caparulo will be here. Shot at a Netflix special here at the South Point Casino a long time ago. So he will be here. He went to Kent State, who is playing today in the MAC semifinals, I believe, against Bowling Green. Yep. So we'll see if maybe he is going to bet on that or do anything. I don't know. Maybe he wagers a little bit. And Joey B., let's see. Any Colorado State fans in South Point this week? Big week for my Rams. Semis tonight. I've seen a lot of jerseys. As you can see, Sportsbook already early on a Friday afternoon is packed. I haven't seen any Colorado State, but I'll be on the lookout. Have you seen any jerseys?
I haven't either.
Yeah, where were we going again? In-N-Out Burger last night.
Yeah.
In-N-Out. There was a whole family that had all their CSU Rams.
There you go. Straight from Denny Neagle. We went to a country bar last night. We went to Old Reds, which is owned by Blake Shelton. I had a few drinks. It was good.
You sure it's Blake Shelton?
The first time I was there, I kept going, man, Luke Bryan. I kept saying it was Luke Bryan's bar. I'm like, Luke Bryan, let me bring this up.
Where's Katy Perry?
Yeah, I was wrong. I got my white country singers mixed up. It happens all the time. It's Blake Shelton's bar, but it was a good time. It's like 4 stories. We were in the front there. We had the band going. It was great.
Trey was up dancing with a bunch of women.
He was up dancing with a bunch of women. I wasn't going to say that. I don't know. They asked us to go, and we were like,
yeah, I know things.
We're like, oh, all right, yeah, we don't want to do that. Let's see. So today is March 15th. It's my cousin Greg's birthday. Happy birthday, Greg. He doesn't watch the show. But anyway, it's also National Kansas Day. You ever been in Kansas?
I've been to Kansas.
What
it's
were you
probably
doing
one
in
of
Kansas?
the worst states you can ever drive through. You can drive through.
It's flat.
Oh my God, flat. And I swear it takes like 6 hours, but it feels like 15.
What's going on? What is happening? Okay.
But National Kansas Day.
Oh my God. It's National Kansas Day. So
what does that mean?
I don't know. By the way, it's the sunflower state. I didn't know. What is going on? What's happening? Is she Jimmy Vaccaro? She's just walking in front of the camera? No one can see her? Oh, the graphics up. Oh, you guys are professionals here.
Look at that. So what? Is there like a bunch of tornadoes going to happen?
I don't know. NTM, we're not in Kansas anymore. So anyway, to celebrate National Kansas Day, the Kansas Jayhawks and K-State both lost in the Big 12 tourney yesterday.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so the finals will be number 1 Houston versus number 25 Texas Tech. Texas Tech, a team Chris Andrews.
He really likes.
So I don't know. And you're making your brackets next week. You might want to take a look at Texas Tech. Chris likes them. Or I don't know, to celebrate Kansas. I mean, do you watch The Wizard of Oz?
I love The Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Can maybe
see. So what if your name is Dorothy? Do you get like a
you get a discount? Yep.
Kansas barbecue?
Yep, you got KC Barbecue. Very good. That's true. Or you can just sing, "Carry on my wayward son, dust in the wind." Sing Old Blue. That's
Or
what
you
he
just say there's no place like home.
There's no place like home. There's no place like studio here at South Park, South Point. Did I say South Park? Did I?
Well, we were talking about Trey Parker yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. And Trey. Anyway, happy Kansas Day, everybody. But by the way, the song is "Carry On Wayward Son." That's the title, but the lyrics are "Carry On My Wayward Son." It's kind of like "Semi-Charm Kind of Life." The title is "Semi-Charm Life." The kind is not in there. Isn't this fascinating?
So you learn something new every day. Did you know that, Ryan?
I did.
What is the line on the Houston Texas Tech game? Houston's the number 1 team in the country. Texas Tech, 10 points.
Wow.
It's a lot of points.
Yeah.
Yeah, Houston's a 500 favorite.
Yeah,
A number
Texas
1
Tech
and a
is
number 25.
Yeah, that seems like-
And they're
oh, that
playing
seems
well
like a
right
lot.
now. 10 points? I don't know. Sean, what do you think? You looking at that line, or are you just reading about Kenny Pickett being traded? Kenny Pickett. So anyway, it's also National, look at this one, Denny, National Everything You Think Is Wrong Day. Okay, I know. So
That's kind of every day, isn't it?
I know. So when it comes to gambling, that's me. So this is a day where decision-making should be avoided as your thoughts are wrong. It's also a day created for some people to realize that they are not always right.
No, I like that part.
Yeah.
Tell that to my ex-wife.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean that right.
What? All right. So I don't know. So I'm thinking every bet I want to make, I'm supposed to go the other way. But I do have one bet to make today.
Wouldn't that be National Opposite Day?
It would be National Opposite. Well, everything I think is, it's almost the same, isn't it? I don't know.
It's a conundrum.
It is. Whoa. Conundrum.
you know
Ryan's
that word,
staring
Ryan?
me down. That was a good word. You're staring me down right now, Ryan, because you know what's about to happen.
Yeah, you were staring me down, yeah.
We're going to talk about University of North Carolina Tar Heels versus the PP, the Pitt Panthers. I can say Pitt. The game is today. I predicted the line would be 8.5. It is at 7.5 still?
And Ryan just wanted to give you 1.5?
Ryan seems to think the fair bet would be for me only to have a 1.5. That's not going to happen. So, Ryan, what is your proposed bet? Your favorite college team, my favorite college team. The Minnesota Gophers are not playing. I checked.
Yeah, but University of Maryland, the Terps.
Oh, Maryland, the Terps. That's right. You probably
I
saw.
love my Gophers.
There you go. They won a national title. Was it Gary Williams was the coach in
Yes.
Maryland? They were great. All right, Ryan, let's hear it. Let's hear the proposed bet. Denny has a way to settle this possibly, but what is your...
But I need to know, Ryan, what's the deal with the Tar Heels? How did they become your favorite college basketball team?
That's a good question.
Well, my family is from my mom's side of the family is from North Carolina. Both of her parents went to the university.
All right.
And so
You get a pass in. I thought it was one of those, that North Carolina team, they seem cool.
They're cool. I like blue.
family ties. Yeah.
Nah, he's
I
got
do
family
love
ties.
their colors, man. That's some of the best colors in all of college sports,
Their
I
baseball
think.
uniforms are awesome.
They're
too.
so sharp.
But
Oh,
Duke's
my
blue
gosh.
is so much cool. I'm
Stop
joking.
Stop it.
I'm a UNC fan over those two. All right, so what is your bet? What is your proposed? The game is at 4 o'clock Pacific time, I believe.
Yes.
What do you think? 7.5 points, 8 points? What do you
Money
want?
line.
Money line.
Money line. Do you
Money
wanna know
line.
why?
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Ooh, it's getting good. Okay, what?
Do you happen to know what your total is at?
My total. Oh, my
the-
total that I. Is it $80? What do I owe? Let's.
What's
Can
the
you-
total for what? For
can
saying
you roll-
what?
for saying? Don't you son of a bitch.
Can you roll the video in?
This is what I'm going to propose real quick. If Frank reaches $70 again, the $70 that was in there would go back in there, and that would be on you.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah. So it would actually double back up to the 140.
Okay.
So this is a challenge for you not to get there. If you don't get
Right.
back to 70,
Okay.
I will put the $70 in. I want to get this pot back home.
I'm so there you go, confused. Ryan.
Okay, there you go, Ryan.
So Ryan,
So there you go.
What is
There you
it?
go.
He's trying to make
Sure.
Okay, wait. All right.
Wait. Did Frank just get hit with a tranquilizer
I did.
dart
It's like
in
an
the-
old school, right?
Wait. Oh, I like you. You're crazy.
You can dub you in. Whoa. Jack that up. 155? What are you talking about?
The 70 got added back in. You were at 85 at the end of yesterday's show.
So
now-
who's putting Parles is putting 70 in.
You. That was the deal that you made with Jeff in episode 100. That was the whole point of what we just ran back.
What?
Yes, you said okay.
I heard it. You said,
Okay, we'll just
Because you want to know why? Because I didn't understand a word Jeff Parles said.
You said okay. You said
be
all
honest
right.
with you,
asked me,
I didn't
you gave
understand
me
what
a
he said.
pass to talk about the Bears quarterback situation, which I didn't take.
You just said it. That's $5.
I didn't go into it.
You mentioned it.
We'll go to the arbitrator, Sean. Did he say okay?
I say yeah. No, wait a second. I didn't say we. First of all, I never. Do you think I listen to Jeff when he's here? I don't understand a word he says. He talks way over my head. He's breaking down
wow,
numbers.
that's
He knows
kinda-
the mascot of Murray State, which I think is the Racers. By the way,
You set yourself up for that one. It's easy to talk over your head, Frank.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that is not my new total.
It's your total. If the $70 didn't get taken away, this is what your total would be at. This is what you are at. You are at 155.
I don't understand how
It's
that.
the new math, Frank.
What is?
85 plus 70.
Well, I know that. I can add. I'm
So
a whiz
angry.
with numbers.
Okay, can I get into the bet for today's game now?
Well, wait,
Yes.
just real quick. Why did it dump? Why am I? I was responsible for 85, not the additional 70.
If you got back, you were at $10 when that bet was
Right.
when Jeff went back
Okay.
to it. If he said if you got back to 70, the 70 would go back in, and that's on you.
No, I thought he meant on him.
No, he said if you didn't get
Okay,
if
yeah,
you
so
didn't get
70's on me, not 155.
the original 70 goes back on the
Whatever the
additional
running
whatever
total.
you got to set. Yeah.
Where was it when Jeff was going to throw money in? How was
If
that?
you
If you
didn't get
didn't
back to
get
70.
Oh, I've been saying it for fun to jack it back up.
And here we are.
You jacked it.
Are you having
I did
fun?
jack
Are
it.
you having fun?
You didn't have to give up $5 each time you said it. This was your idea. Anyway, today's game.
All right.
Pitt UNC. Money line.
You're insane.
Pitt wins.
Okay.
That $70 is gone. You're back to your 85.
No. It should be a lot more than that.
The money line is 280.
Right.
So I'm giving you better odds, actually.
Okay.
And if Carolina wins, it's 175.
This is like the overall. They're going to be an overall 1 seed. They're going to be a 1 seed.
Yeah, thanks
no
to
chance.
Tennessee taking a crap
Right,
day.
Tennessee
Yeah.
just lost. Aaron Donald retired. Kenny Pickett's an Eagle. Cats and dogs
our
living
pets are
together.
falling off.
Our pets' heads are falling off. Old Dumb and Dumber. I got to think on that bet. We're gonna let that stew. Let's continue with the show because I still don't understand why that clip was slowed down. I thought I was having a tumor problem. I don't know what's going on.
Because
But
you agreed to it.
I don't understand Jeff Parles ever. Does anyone understand when he's doing all that number stuff?
Why are you throwing strays at Jeff right now?
Strays. Is that a thing that kids say? Straight like stray bullets?
Stray bullets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't understand Jeff. He talks like in a lingo. I do. All right. We'll get back to this, ladies and gentlemen. We've spent
He's
enough
so
time on this.
disappointed.
It is episode 111. It's 111. He's smart. Look at him smirking. Son of a.
I just don't
It's
understand why you
episode-
don't understand.
I don't know. I didn't say okay, yeah. I just said okay, yeah, to quiet him so I could move on to what was next in the show that day.
Phrasing.
Phrasing. Keenan Allen injured in a car accident.
You're an idiot.
Won't play for the Keenan
Oh my
Allen.
God, you had me look.
Not going to play for the Bears.
Also, thank you, Denny.
Episode 111 today. Ryan has prepped something for us, I'm sure. Ryan, what do you have for us today? Episode 111. Athletes to wear number 11. How many can Frank and Denny name? Let's find out. Number 11, that's Jimmy Rollins. Am I right?
Yep, that is Jimmy Rollins.
Is that Janikowski?
Well, where are you going to? I thought we were going-
I don't know. Where am I going? To hell. All right, anyway. All right, let's go Cincy shortstop, number 11.
Oh, that's Barry Larkin.
Now, did you ever, you ever play?
Oh, yeah.
Was he on the Reds when you were
Yeah,
there? still?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, great dude, man.
Hall of Famer, first ballot. Guy deserved it, right?
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Numbers stack up. Won an MVP. Barry Larkin. Wasn't he born and raised in Cincinnati?
He went to
too?
Moeller High School. Yeah,
right.
famous high school there. Yeah, him and Junior went there also
Yeah,
too.
Junior. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Okay, so we're 2 for 2 here.
And then some guy that He used to be the quarterback before Tom Brady.
I believe he was. He got Wally pipped, kind of. He got Wally pipped. That's a deep baseball cut. Wally Pipp was the first baseman for the Yankees. He went up to the manager and said, hey, Skip, give me a day off. And they go, all right, put Lou Gehrig in at first. Put this guy Gehrig in. And Wally Pipp never
It'll just be a couple days off.
2,130 games later, that's the streak that Lou Gehrig started that day. So it's a thing, and they do in all sports, even in football. You're going to get Wally Pipp.
Wally pipped? Don't take a day off.
Don't take a day off, man, or a guy will come in and play 2,130 games. So that's what happened to Drew Bledsoe. He got hurt, really, and then Brady came
But now
in.
he's running his own vineyards.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's got his own vineyards, really successful wine vineyards.
Drew Bledsoe, blood wine, blood red. I see what it is. You can do, Ryan, stop looking at me right now because he's just, listen, you can't see Ryan. This is Ryan right now. Just smirking at me.
He's just picturing you in black and gold body
I never
paint.
said the 80 would, I didn't understand, Jeff. Next up, some hockey player.
You're as upset about this as I was that you got to bet the Shohei at bat.
Oh, yeah, he is holding the cup again.
Yeah, he always puts a hockey. It looks like John Madden, by the way.
It does.
That guy has a large, weird colored head.
What?
Billy Smith.
He's on TV now.
John Madden.
With ESPN, I think. John Madden.
What team is he in right there? Is that?
He's on Edmonton right in that picture.
Is that? It's not Messier.
No, that's not Messier.
That's not Mark Messier.
That
No,
is
he
Mark
didn't
Messier.
have hair even back then.
Is that real? I know. That's right.
He's been bald forever. Yeah.
That's Mark Messier.
That is Mark
That is
Messier.
him.
That is Mark Messier.
Yeah.
That must have been when he had hair.
Yeah. No, he has no hair. It's just the shadow of the cup.
Oh, it's a shadow. Oh my! Now I see it.
It looks like he has.
I blame
red-
my vision.
Yeah, right. It looks like he's been scalped. Like his hair is like. All right. Well, anyway, good one. Then Janikowski.
Yeah.
A fantasy kicker, a gold.
Oh
I
my
had him.
gosh.
The guy was drafted. I think Al Davis drafted him in the first round, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
First round pick
Is
on
he
a
the
kicker.
only kicker to ever get drafted in the first
So
round?
there-
Wait, I know the other. There's another one. There was a guy I
tell
believe
me.
out of UCLA named John Lee that Arizona drafted in the first round, maybe.
So Janikowski is the only one to be only kicker to be drafted since 2000.
Okay.
Really since 1985.
Okay.
The other 4, so there have been 5 total kickers drafted in the first round. The other 4 were drafted in the 70s, 60s, and 70s.
So not John Lee.
Yeah, I don't remember the names.
Oh, Jan Stenerud.
Ooh.
Wow, there were kickers
Mark
drafted.
Mosley.
Mark Mosley. Again, I think
The only kicker to win MVP.
MVP. It was the striker, but my God, how the hell did a kicker win the MVP? And I know they won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Reagan's.
Dude, when we had season tickets to the Redskins, that's what they were called then.
You're allowed to say it. You're allowed to say it.
He had tickets right by us, man, and he would show up in his like trench coat, man, and stuff like with his hair, that perm.
Oh, my
but the
God,
perm
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
slick
yeah,
still
yeah.
stuff. And dude, he loved showing. You know, most people like I never wear my World
Yes,
Series
you
ring.
don't, yeah.
You know that.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So, but even if guys wear it, they usually wear one ring. He would have like all 3 of his on. Somebody be like, hey, where's the seat? Our seats are right over there.
And that season, I'm always going to remember John Riggins, and we did a charity thing in Maryland for your ConnorCares.org. Please remind me to mention that at the end of the show. And John Riggins, usually like John Riggins is going to be the auctioneer, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be weird. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, Ryan. You should have seen this, man. He literally went into the, hey, 40, 40, 45, hey, 50, 50, 50. I was like, oh my God.
Denny and I are about 7 drinks in, and we're like, we'll do the auction. They're like, no, John Riggins will do it. We're like, okay, thank God he's here. And I bought a Greg Maddux jersey for $400. I didn't even remember. I remember going back to my next day unpacking. I'm like, did I buy a Greg Maddux jersey? Like, check my bank. Yep, I did.
But Riggins pumped you up to buy it.
I mean, exactly. I got caught up in the whole thing. Yes, kickers.
So the highest kicker ever drafted was by the Redskins in 1966, Charlie Gogolak.
I've never heard of that name.
Jeez, I don't remember that
Charlie
name either.
who?
It's either Gogolak or Gogolak. Gogolak.
Okay.
Wow.
Barbalak?
6th overall.
6?
Wow.
6th overall. And then Russell Erxleben?
Russell Erxleben.
Erxleben.
Yeah, was he UCLA or where was he from? Russell Erxleben played for the Rams.
Drafted by the Saints.
Saints. Okay, yeah, Saints. He bounced around, but it's Russell. I remember that name. I had that card. There's a Russell Erxleben, I believe it was pronounced.
He was drafted 11th overall.
Jesus.
Steve Little was drafted 15th overall by the then St. Louis Cardinals in 1978. Janikowski was drafted 17th overall in 2000. And then Tony Zendejas?
Zendejas. There was a bunch of Zendejas brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
that was another kicker.
There was the
Redskins.
Garcia. What's the one who
kickers
ripped his
in the
knee?
first round.
Not Bart. No.
Do you know what I'm talking about? The kicker.
Crack. John
Jefferson. Grammatica.
Bill Grammatica.
Martin Grammatica.
Was it Martin?
There's a couple different Grammaticas.
Yeah, I know. It was Bill, Martin.
Yeah.
He totally celebrated.
Celebrated. He came down, ripped his knee, never kicked again. That's like when Gus Frerotte
went and banged his head against the padding.
He scores a touchdown. He's like, oh, and he slammed his head. He like,
I think he had a concussion even.
Concussion or snapped vertebrae in his neck. When you celebrate, just high five. Just high five. Don't do something stupid there. All right. Oh, so we have a couple more there. Let's see. Is that?
That is probably, in my opinion, still one of the greatest right-handed hitters to ever swing the bat. Edgar Martinez.
Edgar Martinez, right? Hall of Famer.
Yep.
That guy. He's the one who had the hit where Griffey came storming around the bases. Man. And then Isaiah Thomas. There you go. Isaiah Thomas, by the way, we've mentioned this book before. I was looking at it again today. This is written by Mike Greenberg, who does, is it Get Up in the Morning? Greenberg? And then he's got Hembo. Hembo's like his producer. Hembo's been on the show. He was going to be on this week, but unfortunately his kids were under the weather. He's going to be on again, hopefully in the next week or so. But they do this book. It's all numbers, and for each like number, like we kind of do in the show, they talk about who the greatest number 11 was, and they have Isaiah Thomas for 15.
Wow.
Tim Tebow?
This is
Tim
riveting.
Tebow.
What?
Tim Tebow for Denny Neagle?
Wait, they have Tebow as their greatest number 15?
Well, they don't necessarily
some of the
greatest. It's just something that makes conversation. So 15, they have Tebow because they go into his college thing and all that.
Yeah, well.
16's Montana. 17, John Havlicek. Havlicek stole the ball. But 11, you got Isaiah Thomas. So we got Isaiah Thomas in there. Then we got a boy from, I almost said the hometown, but I didn't.
Yes.
He played at the university, the same one that Aaron Donald did. And Kenny Pickett. That's Larry Fitzgerald.
What university?
I can't say it. I'm already
Larry Fitzgerald.
3 figures in.
Who has
Larry
more
Fitz.
career tackles than drops?
He has what?
More career tackles than drops.
I saw that once. Yeah.
Wow.
Because like on interceptions, I guess, when he had to tackle someone, more tackles and more tackles
That's
than drops.
some pretty good hands.
So after the Super Bowl, when the Steelers beat Arizona in Tampa, I was at the game where Santonio Holmes caught it and James Harrison ran 101 or 102 yards. We were staying in the hotel where the Arizona families were. So we get back to the hotel and we're like, woo! I only had one beer actually because I wanted to remember the game and I had to do work for Yahoo. Anyway, Larry Fitzgerald was standing there and just standing there by an elevator and his sweats on. So, hey man, Larry, nice game, man. And I just thought he'd walk by and he goes, hey, I appreciate it. And, and he stopped. He's like, well, what do you guys? I just like had a conversation. Just lost the biggest game of his life. Struck up a little conversation with us for like a second. Told him we were big fans of Pitt, but couldn't have been a nicer guy after the biggest loss of his life.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Class act.
and then last but not least, you have by the pound sign there or number sign.
Is that a Bronco?
Nope.
That's not Antonio Brown, is it?
No.
It's Tampa Bay, right?
No, in that picture, he is an Atlanta Falcon.
Oh, is that
Julio Jones?
Julio Jones.
Jet, yeah.
Boy, he dropped. He was like one of the best ever, and then he's just kind of taking a big fall.
Unbelievable, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
7-time 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah.
Seven
crazy.
times. Yeah. And where is he now?
He was in Philly last year.
Yeah, he was with the
Philly,
Eagles
that's
last
right.
year.
Okay.
I think he caught like a touchdown pass even too.
Yeah. Come on. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. Our special guest, John Caparulo, is here. We're going to come back. Great collage. Way to go, Ryan. We'll talk more about this North Carolina and Pitt bet. All right, we'll be right back in 2 minutes with more. John Caparulo's live. He's walking in right now. We'll be right back.
South Point offers all the types of entertainment you'd expect at a first-class Las Vegas resort. Did you know our 400-seat showroom is one of Las Vegas's top destinations for live entertainment? Enjoy live performances by classic Vegas entertainers, bands, and today's hottest comedians, plus a rock and dance floor. You can also enjoy live entertainment at the Grand View Lounge, where you'll feel all the vibes of old Las Vegas. Enjoy the music, and if you love to laugh, don't miss The Dirty at 12:30, our very own free comedy show. Every Friday night at 12:30 a.m. in the Grand View Lounge. The Dirty is 100% free, so arrive early. Go to southpointcasino.com or call the box office at 77136 for today's performances at the showroom and the Grand View Lounge. When you're ready for your favorite cocktail, stop in and unwind at one of our 7 specialty lounges. There's a bar around every corner, because you're in Vegas, baby. South Point Casino has plenty of attractions for the whole family. Catch a movie. Our 16-screen movie theater includes 2 XD Extreme screens for the ultimate in viewing, sound, and luxury. After the show, treat the family to a variety of treats at our old-fashioned ice cream parlor, Kate's Corner. We scoop up a variety of creamy concoctions, including smoothies, hand-dipped cones, milkshakes, malts, sodas, and sundaes. At Kate's, there's something for everyone. And if you've still got time to spare, our bowling center might be right up your alley. Voted Best of Las Vegas, it's a great place for friends and family fun. 64 lanes, a pro shop, snack bar, and arcade. And while the kids are bowling, you can play slots and sip on a drink in the Alley Cat Lounge while overlooking the lanes. For our more serious and professional bowlers, the South Point is also home to a separate tournament bowling plaza.
Uh-oh, I'm on a different website that I don't want anyone to know I'm on. Hold on, I'm joking.
Remember
yesterday we were talking?
Take Pornhub off.
I don't do that one. It's too commercial. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Denny Neagle is here wrapping up his residency. We were just doing Ryan's collage of athletes who have wore the number 11. That was a good one, Ryan. It was a good one. Only one hockey player. Thank you. But Janikowski, talking about the kickers was fascinating. I mean,
Yeah.
Those kickers that were drafted the first round is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, this gentleman who we're not sure if we've met before, but he is from East Liverpool, Ohio, which is right outside of my hometown. I'm not allowed to mention my hometown. I get penalized $5 every time during Lent, and I'm up to $85. If you show 155, I'm going to throw.
He's up to 155.
That is not where I'm at. There's a whole bet
He's up
going
to
on. We don't want to bore him.
155.
I'm not talking about it right now. Ladies and gentlemen,
How is he
he
not
shot
at
his Netflix special right here at the South Point Hotel. He has a residency at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club. John Caparulo is here, ladies and gentlemen.
John.
John, we have a
Hi,
big studio
thanks.
audience for you. We have a baby
I
here.
know, yeah, that's the crowd I usually draw. Yeah. So.
Now, East Liverpool, there's the East Liverpool Motor Lodge, which I know I played several times.
Yeah, well, I went there. It's one of those things like, anytime somebody would ask me to book me there, and I'm like, that's entirely too close to my parents' house. It's like I like to give a buffer zone, just in case I suck. And it's
No.
always, so I never did perform there. I
Oh,
knew
my God.
it was a road spot for a lot of people.
I was actually there. Then I just realized I was there the night the Braves won the strike shortened World Series.
95.
95. I was there that night, and we had to hold to start the show because it was game 6 or 7, 6. So they went in 5 or
game
6.
They beat the
Yeah.
Indians. It was at 6 or
6
7.
games, yep.
Okay,
Yeah, and I remember they held the show. They're like, "You guys got to wait." And we're like, "Oh, what is this? Just a World Series? I want to do my penis jokes." But anyway, we waited. I can't remember. That just flashed at me. But so you're doing the Jimmy Kimmel residency. How long have you been doing that here?
About a year now. I do Tuesday nights at 9:30, and then I go in. They'll plug me in whenever they have some other hey. You're just down the street, John. So can you come in? And it's pretty cool. It's been great. So I like it there a lot.
I'm playing the club in May for the first time. I'm very excited. May 17th and 18th. Get your tickets. 3 shows.
Okay, yeah.
I'm very excited. So how long have you been living in Vegas now?
Been since 2018, so almost 6 years now since we moved here. Because I had a residency at Harrah's for a couple years before COVID.
Yeah.
So now I just use the airport.
It was you and someone else. I remember seeing the signs.
It was me and Tom Green to start,
Tom Green,
and
that's
then
right.
then it was me for a long time.
Well, that's the real draw. So when I was giving your wife the email direction, South Point, she's like, he knows how to get there. At the time, I wasn't aware. You shot a Netflix special right here in our showroom.
I did. It was this showroom's always been. It was one of my favorites ever. Still is. I mean, just it's got that great. It's got a theater feel to it,
Yeah.
but it's really intimate, and it's a fun room. And I made sure I shot a special there because it's a great room. It's a great look. I love that place.
Yeah.
Are there places like you guys like to perform at because of the atmosphere and stuff like that? Because I know there were certain stadiums I love to pitch in. And
Absolutely,
stuff
absolutely. I mean, and there's other places that even just because it's maybe a bigger venue or something like that. A lot of times with comedy, I mean, that can work against you. It can just be too much. Because it's not. I don't have a guitar. So I can't really fill that much air. So better to have a nice, just me and some friends.
Yeah, and what are some of your Vegas stories? I mean, everyone run-ins with celebrities or just a typical Vegas story doing stand-up.
Vegas story. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think. I started out doing the Riviera.
Yeah, that's where our sports director Chris Andrews. He's going to come over here after we're done. He's a huge fan. He saw you there, said he never laughed harder.
And I've only gone downhill since.
Okay.
So but it's the Riviera. I remember we used to do 14 shows too. It was like, I mean,
in one night.
70s where it was yeah. And you would go thinking like nobody's going to come to the late show on Monday, and then there they are. Like, all right, I guess tickets were free, huh? All right, good to see everybody. But it's I did my residency at Harrah's. I had like I said, I started with Tom Green. We would do 3 nights. I do 3 nights. He do 3 nights. But then through 2019. I was 6 nights a week by myself.
Wow.
No opener. Yeah.
Oh,
so it was a lot of me. It was really just, because you think, you're like, oh, well, I can, grow as an artist and I have all this time to work out. And man, it became Groundhog Day. It was just like, wow, I am so sick of the sound of my voice. And the only opener I had was we used to use like a video that we put together. It was like a compilation of my career, like TV spots and stuff like that before. So I opened for me doing this. So it was, so as much as I liked having the show, when they said, yeah, we're going to move on or whatever, I'm like, that's fine. So yeah. So
how did you get started in East Liverpool, Ohio, which is a town not known for comedy, but you did then go up to the road to the Steel City. I can't say it. So
I did. Well, yeah, I can say it, right? It's not.
You can say it.
I'm not Catholic, so. No, I always thought
Funny Bone in Pittsburgh.
Yes,
He's been there?
The Funny Bone in Station Square.
Yeah,
the old one.
He's been there 100 times.
Right. And I was because East Liverpool's about 45 minutes or so, but from there. So like when I was at Kent State, I always knew I wanted to be a comic, but it's one of those things. You're like, am I going to be as funny as my friends say I am, or anything like that? Because I remember I tried it once. I went to there was a club in Cuyahoga Falls. Back then it was called Hilarities. Now it's a different name.
Oh, yeah.
But I went there. My first time I was 19. My sister drove me, and the only thing I remember from that set was I remember some guy in the back yelling, "Who cares?" And and that guy has no idea. He still lives in my brain rent free when I'm on stage, because I'm like, if I go too long without getting a laugh, I'm like, the "who cares" guy is going to show up. So I need to. Yeah. So but when I officially said, all right, I'm going to do this, I had a year left of college because I was on a 5-year plan at Kent State, and I was like, man, I looked around my classes, I'm like, wow, everybody else seems to really care about these classes, and I'm like, I'm just wasting time here. I'm like, I need to just go do what I was going to do. So I started out going to there was a little club up in Painesville, Ohio, that used to let me host on like Friday, Saturday. They were real discriminate. Yeah, if I called first, they'd be like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, so and then the Funny Bone at Station Square in Pittsburgh, you'd have to call in to get 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever on Tuesday. You have to call on Monday, and I did that for about a year and a half, and I was like, I didn't waste a lot of time. I was like, you know what? I'm going. I had my best friend was like, hey, let's go to L.A. And I'm like, yeah, let's do that. And it was great that I had him to lean on and to go with, because he's not a comic or anything. He just wanted an adventure, and it was fantastic. Because so I went there. I got a job at the Comedy Store. I was a doorman for 2 years, and I worked. I answered phones, all that stuff, and took me about 4 or 5 years to get to the point where I didn't have to mow grass in the morning as well as do comedy. So it was from there. It was just I guess things have gone okay.
Been real good. Go.
I got a question for both of you.
Please.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this one, Frank, but who were some of your guys' comedy?
It's weird. I was going to ask you the same thing.
Comedy icons, legends that you looked up to.
Wait, you go.
I'll just say the HBO comedy specials. Every month there was a new one, and I recently just was going through my old VHS tapes, and there was one tape that I wore out, and it was VHS. It was Eddie Murphy's Delirious.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Robin Williams, A guy that's forgotten that I'm a huge fan of is Robert Klein.
Oh gosh,
He's a big Robert Klein fan. And then I had like Dangerfield specials and young comedian specials on HBO. And I'd put these in, and it was 6 hours. And I would just I learned, I memorized. So that's how I learned by watching them. I watched Letterman. My dad, before we had a VCR, he would audio tape Late Night with David Letterman, and I'd come home from school and listen to an audio tape of it,
Yeah.
And so like Letterman, Steve Martin, was probably the first albums I had, George Carlin.
Yeah.
But what about you, John?
Ditto, really.
Yeah,
I mean,
right?
I honestly, because when you say Eddie Murphy Delirious was the first thing,
Yeah.
I remember, it was funny because I remember we used to we had a beta machine actually, and there was one place in town that had the rented beta tapes, and I remember I rented the Toxic Avenger, and it was funny because we started watching it when I got home, and it wasn't what I thought it'd be, and my dad ends up taking me back to the video store, and he's like, this isn't really for kids, so he gives him that, and he's like, go ahead and pick something out, and I pick out Eddie Murphy Delirious. In retrospect, it's like, what did you even look? So watching him do. It just looked so fun the way he was just able to capture his childhood and all this, and just have this audience just laugh with him about all these really fun subjects, and it was that's when I got bitten by the bug, and then it was like the the Dangerfield specials. Yeah, I remember the first one with Dice and
Bill
Lenny
Hicks
Clark
was on that one.
Yeah, and those. That I remember we didn't have HBO. I remember I had a friend who was like, it was one of those houses where like single mom, they didn't have milk, but they had HBO, Showtime, Cinemax. They had every pay channel you could get. And I mean, he would record them, and he would either loan them to me or watch them over at his place. And it really, I remember watching Dice. Kinnison was such a big Kinnison fan. That's when I started buying albums. Was those guys. I used to listen to Sam Kinnison's tape.
Yeah.
And when I was in bed, supposed to go to bed for because I had school. And so it was those guys. I mean, and then later on when I saw when I got into comedy and I saw guys like Chris Rock, Chappelle, Eddie Griffin, guys Seinfeld even guys like that who just you figure they've been to the mountaintop with comedy, but it's like they seem to still be searching for perfection. And that's what, I could really relate to, and I really thought was, it was really admirable, for somebody in my position to be like, I want to be like that, and still care.
The guy,
I remember when Frank broke out the same tight red leather pants. I did.
It was a suit. It looks so good. I did that, and then I had the purple suit like he did in Raw. I remember when I first moved to LA, and I played the Laugh Factory mostly.
Hey Ryan, that could be the bet.
What's that? Wear a red leather suit?
The North Carolina game? Eddie Murphy's red leather suit?
It sounds expensive. That sounds more than $155.
Sounds sticky to me.
I wore leather pants once on Street Smarts, and I thought I'd hate it. And then after I was in them for a while, I'm like, I kind of like them. Yeah, I had to wear them for a special show. I don't remember. But I remember being at the Laugh Factory in the mid-'90s when I first moved out to LA, early mid-'90s, whatever.
Yeah.
And Chris Rock could hardly get on stage there. And I remember just talking to him in the foyer once, and he was like, I just did CB4, which was this prison parody movie. He was in NWA. And, he would Jamie would put him up, the owner, and he'd get up. And then all of a sudden, it just clicked with him. I've never seen, and then all of a sudden he was Chris Rock. But being around those guys, it's always inspiring too. And working the door at the Comedy Store. Now, when you were there, you weren't there ever to see Kinnison though, right?
No. Kinnison died in 93.
Was it 93? So you went a little after. Yeah. But just being around it and watching it, that's what I mean.
He was a doorman himself, and I knew that from watching different bios of him and stuff like that. Like Carl LeBove was a good friend of his, and I remember I did road gigs with him a couple of times, going to San Diego, and that guy had so many just great stories about just them and their the way they came up and they're working the door at the store. It became like a second home to them, and that's how it was for me. It was like that place really is more like an artist colony than a comedy club, and it's one of those places. A lot of the things that you go through in comedy, it's just it's like anything else. You appreciate it when you get far away from it. You go, wow, that really helped me a lot. But there's a lot of times where it was just like, man, my life sucks. I remember I got off stage one night upstairs in the belly room. I come downstairs, and I had a great set too. It was I just really young crowd. I just killed it. Friday night. and the night manager's like, "Hey, are you done upstairs? Because the ladies' room toilet backed up and it's flooding into the hallway." And so he hands me a mop, and I'm mopping up the hallway as the people who just saw me upstairs killing, they're walking out. Girls are walking by, going like, "Hey, you were really funny." I'm like, "Thanks. It's not my pee that you're walking through right now." But yeah, it was humbling, but it also was so necessary at that time to kind of just. The building blocks of what makes you a comic and what makes you strong enough to go through this. Man.
Did you ever have to mop up urine after a game?
No, I think I definitely had to unclog some toilets. So for sure too.
The buffet. So what?
Dude, didn't Dangerfield did one of his impromptu performances the night I came to see you?
Were you there at the Laugh Factory?
Yes.
I think he went up. I think if I'm not mistaken, he went up right before me.
Yes.
Were you there then?
Yes.
So of course I get up after Rodney.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
that's
I
always
love when the
fun.
young kids come out and open for me. That was my line. And afterwards, I was outside, and I didn't know he had stuck around, and he was there with Jerry Stiller.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
Everyone knows him from Costanza's dad on Seinfeld. And Ronnie came up to me and goes, "Hey, funny kid, real funny stuff." And I remember him like winking at me, and I was just like, that was like being like knighted or something.
Oh,
it was
my
like,
God, dude.
I didn't realize you were there that
Yes.
night. Probably there was drinking involved, but yeah, it was Ronnie. And Ronnie went up there and killed. And I remember he goes up and he's just doing like he's just crushing. And then you could tell he's waiting to get off. He's looking for something to get off on stage,
Yeah.
And a couple jokes don't work. He's trying out some new stuff, and then he does this one joke, and it was me and Jay Moore were in the back of the room, I think. And we're like, "Yeah, there he is!" And Ronnie was like, "Good night." But I mean, he just came in, and you should have seen people's faces light up. I mean, it's Ronnie. Did you ever run into Rodney?
I never did. I was going to ask you, was that the coolest compliment you ever got, though? As far as
it's Rodney. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know he was still there. And afterwards at the Laugh Factory, you kind of go outside and everyone's kind of congregating and hanging out, and he just all of a sudden you hear that voice. I mean, it just you can't. I can't. Well, I can't do deep voice. But I turn on and he's just saying, he came over, he shook my hand, real funny kid, and Jerry Stiller goes, "Yeah, real funny." And of course, this is before camera phones, and I didn't get a picture of it. But it lives in my brain, kind of like the Who Cares?
It is. It really does. I mean, because it's like those moments, because people, it's great doing specials or being on TV and stuff like that. I mean, there's no doubt about that. It's cool. But it's those moments where, somebody that you looked up to, like, actually gives you that sort of validation. Because it's like, none of us have, like, credentials. Like, it's like, I don't have a diploma or anything like that to show that, like, I'm certified stand-up comedian. So it's like, you really just only have that, from guys who you looked up to, or and like,
who was your best compliment?
I was thinking about that when you were talking, because Chris Rock did once, which was awesome. I mean, because I didn't even know he knew who I was, but I remember one day I was I lived on Moore Park for several years. I had a condo, and I'm walking my dog out on along Moore Park, and this, I think it was a I want to say it was a Bentley, but it was. It's driving down Moore Park. There's not much other traffic, and it just slams on the brakes and the car starts backing up into and oncoming traffic is starting to come, like the light came, and there was like a minivan that almost hit it and everything, like and so it just backs up, parks like right next to where me and my dog are, and rolls down the window, and it's Arsenio. And I mean, he went to Kent State and everything. So I mean, I think I'd maybe mentioned that to him before when I was working the doorman. Like, I'm sure he cared. And but he was so he like basically almost killed himself and other people to go, "Hey man, I saw you on Chelsea lately, man. You're doing really good, and I'm really proud of you." And it was so awesome because I watched his show when I was a young kid, like in high school and everything, and it's like, I mean, that's just like coming to America.
Yeah, come on.
It's so cool, man. And
Arsenio's like the nicest guy. I remembered he made his TV debut on the Mike Douglas show.
Oh, my God.
And I remembered a joke he did about rolling a joint or whatever. So I was at the Ice House one night, and he came up, and he had seen me, and he's like, we're talking. I'm like, "Man, I remember seeing you on the Mike Douglas show." And his eyes lit up, and I quoted the joke. He goes, "Oh my God, I forgot." He goes, "I should do that again." You know what I mean? Like I triggered some material for Arsenio, but it couldn't have been a nicer guy. Yeah. And my semester at Duquesne, I went to Duquesne in Pittsburgh for a semester.
Yeah, my best friend did.
3.2 blood alcohol level. Oh no, I said it.
You got carried away. It's all right.
Anyway, I lived on campus for a week with the roommate that they assigned me to, and I had the TV on at night to watch the Arsenio Hall show. And he's like, "You gonna leave that on all night?" And I'm like, "Well, I kind of want to." He's like, "I put on my form, stays up late." I middle of the night one night, I took all my stuff and left. Stiffed him on a $10 phone bill. Take that, other Frank. Yeah, keep tallying your thing. You know, we have a couple posts. John's here. This is only a few. Can we do a couple? We'll do. Sound the horns. Post time, baby. These are some funny posts we found online.
Okay.
You can jump in with us. Look, we even have a graphic. We got some boxing gloves. Look at that. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. There it is. All right. So this one is Get Beef from Pat and Travis. So Ryan found this story, sent it to me. I don't know if you saw this, Denny, but 3-time Super Bowl champs Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce are opening a steakhouse.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and it's called 1587 Prime.
And they're going to say you can't beat your meat here?
You cannot. Nope, you cannot. And there it is. There you go. Mahomes and Kelce got beef. And it's called 1587 because that's their jersey numbers, right? Now, do you follow football at all?
I do.
Are you a Browns fan?
No, I did. See, I was clarifying. I was a fan of the Browns. The team that moved to Baltimore, that was my team.
Okay.
But I became a free agent basically after they left. And I tried when the Browns came back in '99. That was the year I moved to LA. But I was like, I was always a Browns fan. I'm gonna root for the Browns. And I realized about a year into that, I'm like, I don't really have to. So I'm gonna stop letting them ruin my Sunday. So exactly. I basically root for whoever I use on Madden. Okay. So that's pretty much
your team that you use on Madden?
Well, it's been the Patriots for a long time. Look,
John,
the guy, the Patriot, the Brady Belichick Patriot. Look,
yeah,
I think people have such a short memory. The guy went from pick 199 to Giselle's house.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it's pretty much
right
that's
there.
the American dream, people. I mean, you got to support that. I always admired. Like I was a big Jordan fan, you know, with the Bulls, and it's kind of the same thing. I just, I really love when a team or an athlete or something like that's just so. When
dominant.
they're so good, it's impressive, and I hate missing out on that because they don't wear the right uniform.
Okay,
so you know what I mean. So.
I agree with that. Yeah, I can do that. It's like with Denny Neagle, you dominated everywhere.
Yeah, how can you not be a fan?
Exactly. So anyway, they're going to open these steakhouses. 1587 is their combination.
Are they starting in Kansas City or?
I believe so. Does it say if it's in Kansas City?
I believe so. Yeah.
There are some dessert options.
A Swiftie.
Named for Taylor Swift.
I knew it.
You know her song, I Knew You Were Trouble. They have I Knew You Were Truffle Cake.
Okay.
These are all gems, ladies and gentlemen. John, you can use these.
I mean, it's good that they name something after, because you got to figure her, Travis and her relationship's going to last. Because if you listen to her music, I mean, it seems to go well every time. So yeah, of course, this one will work.
How long is that going to stay on the menu?
I also show some of the other gems that I came up with. Chocolate, vanilla, Shake It Offs. The cocktails will be 22. It's their big hit. And then I Knew You Were Doubles instead of I Knew You Were Trouble. These are all Swift songs that are made desserts. How much did you pay for the show today, folks? Nothing. It's free. Okay, Mets and Rockies. Ryan found this as well. Ryan, yesterday was National Pie Day, 3.14, right? 314 was the date. So
Not
the
cream
Mets.
pie.
What's that?
Not cream pie.
No, that's a whole different Google search. So anyway, the Mets 314. So look what they did. Their uniforms. They lined up. Now that's the Rockies did this in 17.
Yeah.
So that actually they flushed out every jersey number. That's how far pi goes. 3.14, 1592. So look at hands. And
The Rockies
like, oh my
went
God.
all the way down the line.
But the Mets
And
did
it's
it.
like, wait, they got the one number wrong.
Yeah, right. And can you do it? Some people can do it. Do you like pie, John? Are you a pie guy or cake guy?
I would prefer pie.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, but it's not like if there's only cake, I'm going to go, oh, no, I'll have a salad. So, I'll take either one. So, yeah.
All right. So anyway, the Mets, by the way, Denny, are going to have a dance team.
A dance team?
Right? We showed this story like a week ago.
On top of the dugouts and
That's
stuff?
what we're thinking.
Oh, my gosh.
It's to distract the
They've tried-
fans from the play on the
miserable
field.
season.
Yeah. A dance team. And there was a picture they just had one girl in the picture.
And she's going to be going, hey, get out of your seat.
Hey, come on, go. So I don't know if the dance team is just one girl. It's kind of like John. He just does one show. It's just him, one-man show.
Right, exactly.
It's just her. She's the dance team. But anyway, that was a
I
cool
hope
thing.
that's good enough because that's all you get. Yeah.
Dream Skeens. It's Paul Skeens, the number one draft pick. I wanted to talk to John Smoltz and you about him. This was the Pirates' number one draft pick overall.
Yes.
Out of LSU. As Ryan says, he shoves. That's a new
Yes,
term the kids
he
use.
definitely shoves, Ryan.
Shoves.
Yes, good expression.
When he used that, I went, what?
I mean, dude, honestly, probably one of the most polished college pitchers to come out in the last, I don't know how many years now.
Yeah.
Well, probably since, whatchamacallit, from the Nationals.
Yeah, Strasburg.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
what they're saying. He's like a once in a generation. Do we have him striking the guy out? I think on.
Out of
So
LSU.
here's the first at bat. It's 101,
Jeez.
100,
How about
and this
that?
is Jackson.
Was that Jackson
Holiday.
Holiday?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then the
and then you
3-2,
can see
102.
Yeah.
He
Three
is
pin.
pumped
I
up.
mean, but again, it's. I almost said the town. It's the Pirates. So he's going to start in the minors, even though he's probably the best
But
pitcher
even
there.
more importantly, isn't he still dating
Yes, he is.
Olivia Dunn.
Olivia Dunn.
By the way,
So
do we
talk
have-
about winning.
By the way, yeah, the
I
guys-
don't know who that is.
She's that, like
seen her.
Gymnast
Yeah,
at
she's like
LSU.
she's the highest earning NIL.
Female.
She's the female Olympic gymnast, not Olympic.
No,
but
she's on LSU's team. That's what they
LSU,
meant. Both
yeah,
at LSU.
gymnast. And she's not even like the number one gymnast for
No,
their team.
she's good, though.
But she's definitely the number one in hotness. So
Okay. Well, that's
They have that NIL money now, so she's getting like.
Do we have her watching on her laptop?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what she looks like. Here's her watching her boyfriend on her laptop, curled up in a Snuggie, or I'm not sure what that
It's
is.
just a
By the way,
blanket.
she makes $3 million. I don't know why she has the tiniest laptop in the world in a one-bedroom apartment, but she's watching him shove, and she gets it a perfect 10. She goes, I could tell he was nervous and pumped. So, but yeah, she does. She's on a commercial where she's doing cartwils on the beach.
And it was so funny. Like
or
all the
something.
other, the visiting football players from other teams who were trying to slide
Yeah.
into her DMs and everything all the time.
So, just out of curiosity, what age is a pitcher at their prime, or does it vary?
Yeah, it definitely varies a little bit, but I would say once a pitcher hits like that 27, 28 years old and they have like 5 or 6 years in the big leagues is when they really.
That's when you're learning how
Yes.
to, just physically, but also just
Yeah,
mentally.
but, and that's why this guy is a once in a generational talent because I think he's going to dominate as soon as he comes up to the big leagues.
Okay,
He's like 6'7" or something. I
Wow.
mean, he's just huge.
Yeah.
He's-
Started at the Air Force Academy and
Yeah.
then transferred to LSU, so he's a bright kid too.
And there was they didn't know if they were going to take Dylan Cruz was the outfielder at LSU, and the Pirates took Skeens, which I was glad they did. But he's going to start in the minor leagues, which is fine because I don't want to do the Super
he won't be
2.
there long.
Yeah, hopefully June.
He's 6'6".
6. That's what I thought because I remember I was looking at one. When I met him, I was like
6'9" with the afro.
6'9" with the afro, just like Fletch.
you got to include that, of course.
Gotta
Yeah.
include that. Do we had any? Was there any one more post, or do we had anything else?
The rituals. if you wanna
Oh
talk
yeah,
about
the
that.
baseball rituals. We have Denny here, so let's do it. I don't even remember what it is. Just go ahead, roll it, or post it, or whatever the hell we found on the internet. Okay, so these are supposed to be. What are they? These are pregame rituals that some Major League Baseball players. Now, do you know Mike Redmond?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So it says he took naked batting practice to end his hitting slumps. Are we buying this or not?
I believe that. I
Okay.
believe that. I know Cal Ripken and Will Clark once, like after the game in Minnesota, they kept the Metrodome. They paid
Yeah.
the guys to keep it open till like 1 o'clock in the morning, and they were
Yeah.
they said they were just in their jock straps. And I think that was it. Like, drinking like a case of beer.
Go on.
Taking
Okay. Really?
And sure enough, I swear to God, Will's like, I swear to you, like I went 2 for 4 and Cal went 2 for 3 the next day.
That's an interesting one right there. What were they? Roger Clemens. Let's see. He lathered his.
Yes. Now,
Okay, Danny, can you read that from where you're sitting?
did somebody get this from me?
I don't know. It says he lathered his private parts with icy hot,
With
so he was never comfortable.
Tiger Balm.
Yeah, I did that. I did that by accident once, but yeah, it was,
You played with the guy.
Dude, one of my first weeks there, after I make my first start, my locker was right next to the hallway leading to the showers, and all I can hear is this grunting noise, and it's echoing because of the showers. So I go back there, and there's Clemens with his drawers down, lathering his balls up. With Tiger Balm, the hot stuff, dude. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He goes, oh, kid, this is how I pump myself up. I go, dude, I listen to like AC/DC or Metallica.
Yeah, right,
Whatever floats your boat, man.
Wow.
So I tell people when he threw that backpack at Piazza, it was the Tiger Balm, man. He was.
that's what it'll do to you. Yeah, never mind the steroid stuff. Yeah, it's like
Jeez, oh,
he
man.
had a York peppermint patty. He had a York sensation the whole time he was on the mound.
Like
Yeah.
the best pitcher in the world. Do we have a few more of those?
Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah.
All right, Bo Jackson, the greatest, created his own improvised clubhouse.
Oh, he used to
What?
shoot arrows. Yeah, archery. Yeah.
before.
You
Yes.
know about this?
There's a biography by Jeff Perlman recently came out. I listen to audiobooks all the time
Okay.
on planes and stuff. And that's what there's one about him. Yeah, the other guys they weren't happy about it, but it's not like they're going to say anything to him. I mean, seriously, like him and another guy, Yeah, shooting arrows across the clubhouse. Yeah.
And then probably if it was a bad arrow, he'd probably break it over his knee like he did the bat. Wow, I didn't know that one. What else do we have,
Yeah,
Ryan?
there's a couple. Yeah,
Couple more.
Who's going to walk up to Bo like, hey,
Yeah, right.
you almost hit me?
Yeah, and your point being. All right, hey, Tim Wakefield, ex-Pirate.
Oh,
you
man.
played with Tim. Sadly passed away a few months ago, but he ate a pound of spaghetti before every start?
No, I can't confirm
Yeah,
that
you
one.
can- you
I know
played
a
with
lot of
Tim.
guys. I would eat Italian the night before to carb up, whatever, too. But
Really?
a pound of it?
A pound is a
Yeah.
lot. Did you have any rituals?
Oh, yeah. I always saw a movie on the day I pitched.
No way.
Always ate Italian the night before. And then, like, my chair had to be the same way. My glove at a 45-degree angle. The towel at a 45-degree angle on the other side.
Wow.
It's very superstitious.
Wow. Yeah, baseball players more than any other sport are superstitious,
Yes,
right?
very much.
Yeah.
Wade Boggs, did he eat chicken?
He ate chicken. All that was his thing. Yeah.
He had to have chicken.
Had to have chicken, and then he had the record for the most beers
I knew you were gonna say
consumed
it.
from West Coast to East Coast flight. I think it was.
It's like over 100. Can you verify? I don't know if we mentioned. You watch It's Only Sunny in Philadelphia. They did a whole episode where they were trying to break Wade Boggs' record. Apparently, on a flight from I think Boston to Seattle or Boston to LA, he drank about 100 beers. John, I've drank on planes before. What's the most you've ever drank on a plane?
I've gone through. I usually don't. I don't drink much at all. I
too
never
much.
really like alcohol that much. But
Okay.
I mean, I've. There's been times where I've tried. You know, like some people try to go to the gym. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put some effort into whiskey, and so I drank
apologize
those
if
little
you're not
bottles
drinking.
of whiskey. I remember
Get the little
I
curls
probably
in.
went through 5 or 6 of them once, and
bad.
it was embarrassing. You know?
If you're flying first class, you feel like you have to because it's free. You're like, wow, it's a
Right,
sin
right,
if
yeah.
I don't. What am I?
I got to come out ahead here. Yeah, exactly.
John Regi, comedian, very funny comedian. He said he used to take the small bottles and walk up and down the aisle of the plane and go, "I'm a giant," because the bottles look so small. All right, we have one more. One more ritual, or was that it?
I mean, there were more, but it's all right.
Was there anything? Moisey Salou urinated. This is true. Urinated on his hands to keep them tough and callus free, and also he would do that when he would go to the Comedy Store, and John would have to then mop it up.
Of
afterwards.
course, yeah, right. Yeah.
At least he didn't drink his urine.
No. Yeah,
That was a couple
Jay
of boxes.
Buhner, wasn't it?
Oh, did Jay Buhner do that one too?
That's the story Harry Bulk told me.
Oh, it was one of the guys that fought Pacquiao
Oh.
and Mayweather.
How do you start that ritual?
I know.
I read somewhere that it was cleansing. And
Do you have any rituals before you go on stage?
you don't drink your own urine?
Well,
Sterile, I
not
like to
every
say.
time. But, no, not really. Not like a
Yeah.
ritual. I mean, I have to get in my, own little zone.
Sure.
But I mean, I guess it has to vary because you go to so many different places and it's just like, nobody's really catering to your needs that
Right.
much. So
Exactly.
you just have to kind of figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I generally watch The Simpsons or something like that
There
while
you
I'm
go.
getting ready.
There you go.
But,
Simpsons are
yeah.
Family Guy. Janine Garofalo once said, and I used to always see this. I don't know if it was the time period in the 90s. There would always be comics before they go up. They'd be shadow boxing a lot. She's like, I've never seen one comic that was any good who shadow boxed. She goes, if I saw a comic backstage before he went up shadow boxing, she goes, I know he's going to suck. It was kind of true. It was like, go get it, and then go up and then suck. We have one or two more, or what do we got? Pick the best one, or is there one you like? Yeah, that's it.
It was good.
All right, we're good.
But I have questions for Denny.
Yeah, that's right. You have a question for Denny.
I have a couple. Wait a second.
All right, hold on, Ann. What do you got? Here
Hello,
we go.
can you hear me?
I gotcha.
I have a couple of questions because all these times that you've been on our show, we have never really talked about your career. And so at what point, when you're a kid and you're going through Little League and then you're going through high school ball, when does it click to you that, oh my gosh, I really could be a major league player?
That's a great question. I think the time that I really knew was when I actually played in the Cape Cod Summer League.
We were talking about,
We were talking about the other day. What was it, Summer Catch? That movie with
Jessica Biel.
and Freddie Prinze Jr.
a song by
But
the
it was
Clarks in that
all
movie.
about that summer
Yeah.
league. And so I don't think it was until I went to that summer league the summer after my sophomore year in college where it was all the best of the best. Like that year I was there, it was Jeff Bagwell, Mo Vaughn. I can't remember. There was a bunch of bunch of really good players that ended up being, becoming all-stars in the MLB. And so I was leading that the summer in strikeouts that year, and really, really succeeding, and having a good time there and stuff. So I think once I proved to myself, because it was a wooden bat league also too, so that kind of prepared you for the big leagues and stuff. So once I had success there, I was like, man, I think I can really do this at the next level.
Were you always a pitcher?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
Well,
he can hit.
We got a couple highlights. I got a couple grand slams. But no, I love to swing it too. That was tough when I went to college, because I was supposed to go to hit and pitch, and then my freshman year they're like, you're too valuable as a pitcher. We don't want you to hit. And I'm like, ugh. That was kind of tough. But
he does have the most career home runs by anyone named Denny ever to play in the major leagues. That was a stat we found out last time, right?
Take that, Denny McClain. That's the only other one I know.
He didn't hit. Wow, the last guy to win 30 games.
Right, he pitched a perfect game too, didn't he? I think. I know the 30 game thing was the Tigers or whatever.
Yeah, and then Mickey Lolich won 3 games in that year. And 68, was it 68 maybe? Year of the pitcher.
Yep.
I think Denny McClain won 30.
Yep. Bob Gibson had the
Smoltz, if Smoltz was on the show today, but he will next week. He had a season where he ended up, if you count the 24-win season, he had 5 postseason wins. I think 4 or 5. So he was the closest ever to Denny McClain again.
By the way, I have Denny's other Grand Slam.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
hold on.
See, this is a game winner.
There's a son. What?
Chicago.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen, a grand slam from Denny. See what they did there?
I really thought I was going to see a baseball highlight too.
I have the highlight. I'll give it to you. You can air it next Wednesday.
All right.
No, but my other question was, what was the first big ticket item that you?
Oh, that's always a good question.
Oh, my first big ticket? Probably, I guess my Porsche.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, bought it with my first big contract.
How long did you have that guy?
Oh God, I bought that in '95, and I think I sold it in 2015. So
right, okay, well, and now
kept
the
it for a while, because I was going to give
nice.
it to one of my sons, but then I'm like, they'll probably kill themselves. So.
Probably a good idea.
Was it 9/11 or
I was just going to ask the same thing. Great question.
Midnight
John,
Blue.
When are you going to be at Jimmy Kimmel's Club?
I am Jimmy Kimmel's Club. I'm there every Tuesday night at 9:30.
Right here in Vegas.
Come on, yeah.
And where can people find you on social media to find your tour dates?
If you could spell John Caparulo, you're good to go. So it's just any of those social media, John Caparulo. Yeah, just look me up. So.
Well, as I said, our sports book director, Chris Andrews, saw you at the Riv in 2004. Gold Nugget. Oh, the Nugget.
Okay. Oh, that was during the Vince Vaughn tour. Was that the
that's
West?
right.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, well, I appreciate that.
All right, this is officially, I think, our longest show. I just want to say thanks to Denny Neagle. I've known Denny for like 35 years now. Also, I just want you to shout out Connor Cares real quick. The organization that I've done a bunch of charity stuff for you as well. That's near and dear to your heart.
Unfortunately, gosh, how many years ago now was it? Almost 20 years ago, we lost my nephew to a drowning accident, my sister's kid. And so we started that organization, and you can go to connorcares.org. And, we do all kinds of great stuff in there. So we provide defibrillators for pools and stuff like that, vans for inner cities to give swimming lessons and stuff like that. So we our mission is so no family ever has to go through that again.
Yeah, so check out connorcares.org. Anyway, what a week we had, Denny. I can't thank you enough. You brought in, we had Sean Casey was on the show. We had Jonathan Silverman. We got Smoltz next week. You're going to join us on the video call. We're gonna make that work. Ann and Jerry and Caden and Sean and
another
Ryan
foursome.
Figure that all out. What's that?
Another foursome.
Whoa, hello. Anyway, I think that's it. Ryan, anything? I don't know about this bet. Is Parles in the room? Did he leave already?
Yeah, it looks like.
I swear to God, I still don't understand what he said. I don't. We'll talk off air about this bit. We'll tweet it, but we're gonna bet on North Carolina Pitt. I need points.
No.
Straight
I don't know,
up.
but Frank said, "You okay?"
I don't understand what that clip was you said. Anyway, make sure you come back at 3 o'clock for Sports by the Book. Jeff Parles will be on the show. We'll be back Monday. I don't know who's on the show. Oh, Monday. Monday is our big bracket show.
Yep.
Yeah, come back, Punchlines. We're all doing it's a bracket. We're going to talk about the NCAA tournament. Big week here at the South Point. Make sure you come out. Thanks for everyone for watching. Continue to share the show. That's it. I'm Frank Nicotero. Punchlines. Line stands for Live in Nevada. Every show.